Hey, welcome back to Thoughts on Things. I'm Josh, and I'm just kind of getting into the week of Thanksgiving here, and so I figured it'd be appropriate to kind of do a bit of a video on Thanksgiving and um, what it is and how we should celebrate it, not just on a single day, but just as a way of life. So, I mean, we love the Thanksgiving holiday and the tradition, and especially pumpkin pie, at least for me. Um, all the great foods that come with it, and then, of course, the kickoff to the Christmas season. Um, as someone who used to work in retail, I actually really despise Black Friday and uh, everything that comes with it. Just seems a bit ironic to me to celebrate a day of giving thanks and then going out and trampling people for some special deal just because they knocked a few dollars off of it. But again, I'm not going to judge on that. Some people, it's a fun family tradition to go get up early in the morning and rush into crowds, and that is not my cup of tea, not my thing. Um, I don't care how much they've slashed prices. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, that's a little bit more off topic. But we pick one day specifically to celebrate Thanksgiving, and yet it's especially for those of us who are believers, it's something that is supposed to be a lifestyle. It really makes me think of Philippians 4, where it just talks about, you know, not being anxious about anything, but always being in prayer and always being in an attitude of thanksgiving. With thanksgiving, let our requests be made known unto God. Or it makes me think of the hymn, Count Your Blessings. Name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. Or even if you watch the movie White Christmas, if you, let's see, how does that go? If you are something and you can't sleep, count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings. There's a lot for us to be thankful for, especially for those of us who are Christians. God gives us the air that we breathe every day, every breath. We get, the nice weather sometimes, the nature that He creates that we get to see and enjoy, just the daily commodities of life, the relationships of family and love, and good health sometimes, and even if we lose loved ones, or if we have bad health, there's still other things that could be going wrong that are not, and so for that we should be thankful, and just looking around us, thinking of all the things that we've been able to see and do and experience that give us just an attitude of gratitude. And ungratefulness is one of the biggest reasons why we sin, because we think we deserve something better. Of course, at its root is pride. Pride gives way to ungratefulness. Ungratefulness is what gives us feelings of anger and jealousy and envy, especially, and just makes us think that our circumstances are just absolutely unfair. And sometimes we think God's ways are unfair, but of course we've talked about Ezekiel before, where it just says, you say that my ways are unjust and unfair, but it's actually your ways that are unjust and not fair. So He turns it right back on us, which is the truth, it's the reality. But unthankfulness for who God's made us to be, all the things that He's given us, for the Word, for the truth, for Scripture, ultimately, that gives us all the truth. It's all the truth. And it's there, and it's guardrails for our life. Being thankful for having those. I was just watching an interview with somebody who was like completely again, he came out of a lifestyle of complete, enmity against God, and was living the glam life, and thought he had everything that he needed, and found himself feeling empty and void, and thinking, is this really all there is to life? And yet, when the Lord found him, really is how it happened. He's like just met some people in a coffee shop that were doing a Bible study, and it was a really cool testimony. He went to the church. He went to their church, and he just said that he felt God just the Spirit just fall on him, and he just suddenly realized everything was true, and it was actually refreshing to have the scriptural guidelines, the scriptural rules, as guardrails, because otherwise anything and everything goes, and you feel like you just have to pursue whatever you want, whenever you want. And that seems like that would be a good thing, but ultimately you're just a slave to your own desires, and that's actually really exhausting, as I've found out. Even as believers, we can pursue things and be enslaved to them, and I can struggle with that at times myself. I mean, when it comes to caffeine, or or food stuff, or music, always pursuing something, and always trying to. It's like the Ecclesiastes said, it all ends up just being empty, like chasing the wind. And King Solomon should know. He was the richest man that ever lived, and got to experience anything and everything he could ever wanted. And but in the end, he was like, it's just all vanity and chasing after the wind. So remember your Creator, even in the days when you're young, to pursue Him, and to live by His rules and guidelines. They're there for our protection, because He loves us. Parents don't just let their kids do whatever they want, and say, oh, just go ahead and run out into the street. No, stay in this yard. Don't go beyond this boundary, or you will get hurt, or you will die, or you will be taken, or things like that. And so just remembering to be thankful, not just on the fourth Thursday in November when we're all stuffing our faces with the finest foods that America has to offer, or whatever, but remembering to do that as a way of life each and every day. And I'm preaching to myself just about as much as anybody else, if not even more so. I'm not worthy to get on here and talk to anybody about anything, but it's what the Lord's calling me to do, and so He's calling me to a higher standard that I don't live up to, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I know that if I did live in a way that was always remembering to be thankful to God, in a way that took every thought captive in obedience to Christ, I know that I would have a lot more joy and fulfillment in my life, and I know you would too. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and have a great Thanksgiving. God bless, and I'll be talking to you. The next one will be kind of about the manger, and was Jesus really born in a barn, per request from a friend. So until then, I'll see you on the next Thoughts on Things.